Hi BookTube, my name is Sarah and welcome to the Bookish Knitter. Today I am coming to you with the start of a weekly reading vlog. Don't get excited. It could be a very short reading vlog in terms of days that I'm going to be recording because today's Friday. This vlog should have started like on Monday, but it's been a week, guys, and I am exhausted. It's actually almost 5 o'clock on Monday night. I am working from home. But I only work till 5 tonight, so I'm really happy I'm done work very soon. As you can see, my pretty Christmas tree is up in the background. I'm very excited about that. So yeah, I have read a lot this week. That's the one thing. Like, I have read a number of books this week, and I'm really, really happy about that. So what I'm going to do is, because I don't have the time right now, like I will in about 20 minutes when I finish work, but I kind of really just want to relax tonight because I actually have to work tomorrow, you guys. I have to put in 4 hours tomorrow at the home office, which is fine. It's fine. I get the time in lieu, which is great. That one, I might complain about it at the time, but when I have like a day off, I won't be complaining. So anyway, I will be back tomorrow with another clip to share with you the books I've been reading. So as to kick off this vlog, as I always say, links will be in the description box below where you guys can jump ahead to any of the individual reviews that you want to go to. I will be talking about my currently reading in this video later on Sunday for me. And there's no book mail this week. No book haul, no nothing like that. So, but yeah, but anyway, that is it. Like I said, I just want to kick off this vlog. This is for week number 44, and I believe it's, I'm trying to remember the dates here. I know it's until the 20th, which is tomorrow. So this is November 14th through November 20th. So yeah, I'll talk to you guys in my next clip. Bye. Hi BookTube, happy Saturday. Today is the 20th of November and it is just before 9 in the morning. I've got to start work soon. I'm working from home this morning for about 4 hours. It is what it is. You know, I keep telling myself, like, I'm like, okay, it's for a good cause because, you know, I'm doing this Saturday and next Saturday. It just means I'm going to get a day off in lieu at some point. So I just need to book that. But anyway, got my Starbucks this morning. Had to make a run. This is just a tea. I know a lot of you are, that's a lot of coffee. No, it's just a tea. The Jade Citrus Mint, if you guys haven't had it, it is delicious. So, excuse me. I am here this morning to add some more to this crappy vlog that this vlog of like no vlog. But I actually have 6 books to share with you guys. So originally I was thinking to myself, I'm like, why don't I just film this whole thing on Sunday and, you know, whatever. But I kind of like just sitting down and doing this. Now I've got to get better at, you know, trying to remember to do it. It's just been a busy week, you guys. It's been a really, really busy week. So let's jump in and get started. Sorry, of course, as soon as I sit down to do this, what happens? Presley decides to start, you know, having some breakfast. But I want to know your opinion, you guys, first of all. Not should I have bought this, because I know a lot of you are going to be like, why did you buy that, Sarah? You totally didn't need that. Don't judge me. I love my e-readers. I love the newest and shiniest e-readers, and I have to get them. But would you guys be interested in seeing a first impressions video? Because I got some gift cards from Amazon, and I used them to purchase myself a brand new, the new Kindle Paperwhite, the 2021 Kindle Paperwhite. So, you guys want to see a first impressions video? I am not using it to its full capacity because I do know that you're supposed to be able to hook it up to Bluetooth and like do the text-to-speech thing or do Audible to it. That's not the reason I bought it. I bought it because it was new and I had the gift cards and I wanted it. And I'm not comparing it to the Oasis because you really can't compare it to the Oasis because, they really, really are two very, very separate things. Like, the Oasis is clearly very different. It's a little bit more high-end, if you will. But, like, I was talking to my friend Brie about it, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do now. Like, if I do love this. And I talked about this recently when I got my Kobo Clara, that I do like the more simplistic e-readers. As a reader, this is what makes me happy. I'm not saying that I don't like the Oasis. I love the Oasis. I just see that this is something that I would use more because I think because the Oasis is at the price point it's at, this part of me is always super nervous that something's going to happen to it. Like if I drop it, or if somebody steals it, or you know what I mean? So whereas this, I mean, yeah, it's not, and guys, can I just complain very, very quickly? You guys can see the price on this anywhere, so I'm not giving away big trade secrets. This was $150, right? The newest model is $150. I literally bought it on Wednesday. Yesterday, Friday, the price dropped to $114. I'm like, are you kidding me? And of course, what does Amazon not have? Like a price guarantee thing. I'm like, really? Really? If, in my opinion, if you hit buy on it in the last 48 hours, 72 hours, you should totally get refunded for the difference. That's just my opinion, because like I'm just mad now. I'm like 150 down to 114. That's like almost $40 difference. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of ebooks, you know? Anyway. So yeah, so I got this. So let me know if you guys want me to do like a first impressions video, my thoughts on it. Again, I don't really want to compare it to the Oasis because it is different, but it's not. I don't know. What would you guys like to see? Do you even care? If you don't care, then I won't bother. So, all that being said, let's get into the books that I read this week. So, cheers again, guys. First book that I finished was A Rogue of One's Own by Evie Dunmore. I gave this book 3.5 stars. Thank you very much to NetGalley and to Berkeley for sending me an e-art copy of this one to read and review. This is the second book in a League of Extraordinary Women series. Publication date September 2020, so I'm a little delayed on this one. This is a historical romance, and I did listen to it on audio, and it was narrated by Elizabeth Jasinski. So, I'll be honest. This series has been okay for me. These books have not been over the top for me. These are not... Yes, these are historical romances. These aren't Bridgerton caliber for me. These aren't Eloisa James caliber for me. You know, like, these are Sarah MacLean. You know, like, these are not those type of historicals. They're good. I like them, but I'm not absolutely loving them. In this one, it's the story of Lucy and Tristan. And they knew each other as children, and then she kind of made her way. She's actually studying at Oxford. It's just around the time that they're allowing women in. And he's a rogue. He's our rogue. And he kind of has a thing for her. And, I mean, it was a fun story. But it was long, you guys. I'm going to be absolutely honest with you. It was long. Like, it was 450 pages. And on audio, it came out to like 16 hours. An audiobook not an audiobook. Historical novel does not need to be that long. There were big parts of this book that I feel could have been completely cut out, and it still would have read exactly the same. You know what I mean? I think that was my big thing with it. So essentially the whole point of the plot is the two of them are at odds with each other because they both want to own this printing house because he wants to publish his poetry and she wants to publish stuff for the suffragettes. So that's kind of the main plot point of the book. Again, I didn't hate it. I gave it 3.5 stars, but I didn't love it. I am looking forward to the next book because it's Hattie's book, and she has been a favorite character of mine. So I am going to continue with the series. This just isn't one that I'm like, you need to rush out and read this one. They also get very spicy, which, I mean, is very typical for historical romance, but I think the cover of these books are not doing them justice. I'm not, like, okay, hold on. So, like, I do like this. Like, I do love these. But I guess because I know Naima Simone, I know that this is going to be, like, burn down the house spicy. However, an author that I don't know, like Evie Dunmore, like, when I read the first book, I went into this, and when they got to the love scenes, I'm like, my goodness, I wasn't expecting that. Based on the cover. But again, shouldn't judge a book by its cover, right? But I don't think the covers are doing them any favors. I love the classic historical romance covers, you know, with like the shirtless guy and her dress is coming off. I mean, they're cheesy, they're campy, they are delightful. And you know, give me all the tea in China for a good step back in a historical romance novel. And now Presley wants out. Guys, I will be right back. Sorry about that. So, the next book that I finished was The Me I Used to Be by Jennifer Ryan. This book did not love, and I was really disappointed. So, I gave this book 2.5 stars, you guys. Publication date, July of 2019. This was a contemporary romance, and I did listen to it on audio, and it was narrated by Brittany Presley. So, this one was a big disappointment for a number of reasons. One, I'm a big fan of Jennifer Ryan. I love her books. I know that she writes great contemporary romances. And when I saw this one come out a couple summers ago, I remember seeing it like on Amazon, and then I saw it in my local Walmart. It was for sale like on the tables or whatever, you know, where all the books are. And I was so excited because I'm like, oh, she's trying her hand at women's fiction, because this book is about a woman by the name of Evangeline? Yeah. Who is released from prison after 4 years, serving time for a crime she didn't commit. And now she's trying to reestablish her life. And my head is going, ooh, women's fiction. She's like, you know, next stage of her life kind of an idea. Very quickly, I realized that is not what this was. And maybe that's on me. Right on Goodreads, it lists as contemporary romance. So I had a lot of issues with this one. So she was sent to prison for a crime she didn't commit, as I already said. And when she gets out of prison, now she's released from prison early. She was in a parole hearing or something like that. And she was, I don't know anything about the justice system. And she was like, the cop who arrested her comes in and is like, you got to let her go now. And then it's like, oh, why? Oh, her dad just died. So I guess he got something from the judge saying that she could go because her father passed away. So she hasn't talked to her dad in 4 years, not since she went to prison and all those things. He kept trying to come and see her, and she's like, no. So anyway, she goes home, and she arrives at home, and she is treated by her mother and her brothers and other various members of the family like she had murdered an entire family in cold blood. Like, that's how she was being treated. Her crime was stealing wine. Now, I'm not saying that steal. There's no problem. Just steal stuff. No, that's not what I'm saying. But the way her family went after her, I'm like, she didn't kill anybody. You're making it sound like she's this horrible individual, and I get the disappointment from a parent, especially. We raised you better than that. You should have known better. Yes, I understand that. But to treat your child like a second-class citizen because they made a mistake. And, you know, like, she knows she didn't commit the crime, but everybody else in her family thinks that she did. So let's put it that way. So it's not like they think that she didn't either. So then, this is where the story really started going downhill for me. So, the cop always knew. He says several times in the book, I always knew that you didn't do it. I should have pursued it more. Well, then you clearly weren't doing your job. You should be fired. He's like, I should have pushed you harder in interrogation to get you to reveal what was actually going on. Maybe you should have taken it, like, she just pretty much pled guilty and said, like, take me to jail, kind of an idea, right? And then when she's in prison, jail, prison, it's different, right? It's two different things. I don't know which she would have been in. She was behind bars. She was actually attacked a number of times by inmates trying to, like, because she was like the white rich girl, kind of an idea. And well, that's what they said in the book. She was the rich girl, and they were trying to, you know, this other woman attacked her or something like that, and like cut her like all the way down and something. She almost died. That's how bad. She has what did it say in the book? 107 stitches. No one called her family, and they're like, oh well, because she was an adult. I don't. Oh, it was only there in case she died. Like, you were only to call if she died. I'm like, maybe then her family could have understood what she went through being in prison, kind of an idea, right? So anyway. But then, and even all that, I was kind of like, okay, whatever. But then came the romance, and it was between her and guess who, people? I'm giving you 3 guesses, and the first 2 don't count. That's right, the cop. You know, she starts a relationship with the police officer. I'm like, okay, first he put you in jail, didn't believe you at the time. After you went to prison, was like, maybe she didn't do it. Something's always seemed a little bit fishy about this. You know, not come to the prison to talk to her, not go through her lawyer, not try and do something instead of letting her sit there and get attacked by other people in this prison. Anyway, so yeah, so let's start up a relationship with him because, you know, I think he's cute. And she's been out of prison for like 3 weeks and they're sleeping together. I'm like, is there not a transition period? Like, is there not, like, shouldn't you need to get acclimated back to the world before you start a relationship with, oh, the guy who put you in jail? So yeah, I had some problems with this one, you guys. I did give it 2.5 stars. Why? Because it was Jennifer Ryan. And I do have to admit that the writing on it was great. The plot is what really sunk this one for me. And I honestly didn't really care for the characters. I thought the mother was a piece of work. I thought the brothers were rude. The grandmother I adored. She was a sweetheart. Our main character, she was good. But she was stupid too. She was just like, they're trying to catch the actual people who did this like wine theft. And she's like completely putting herself in unnecessary danger. It's one of those like, what are you doing going into the basement kind of scenarios. So whatever. Anyway, I read it. It's done. I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed, guys. The next one that I finished was Beating the Rap by Julianne Lindsey. I gave this book 4 stars. This is book number 3 in the Bonnie and Clyde mystery series, cozy mystery series. Thank you very much to Julianne Lindsey for sending me an e-art copy of this book to read and review. It was published earlier in November, so definitely go and check it out. As I said, it's a cozy mystery. So this one was super cute. So I do love Julianne Lindsey's cozy mystery. She writes some really great ones. The Seaside Mystery Series is one of my favorites. She writes that under the pen name Bree Baker. You've probably heard me talk about that one before. She also does the Cider Shop Mysteries under her own name. And she's written a bunch of books for Intrigue, for Harlequin Intrigue, which is always fantastic. But this one, our 2 main characters are Bonnie and Clyde. And Bonnie is a woman who owns a, like, second chance consignment shop kind of an idea in this town called Bliss in Georgia. And she has a little black cat named Clyde. And already I was sold. So I have not read the first 2 books in the series, but I was not at all lost on this one. She has a kooky grandmother. She has a great assistant. You know, there's a great cast of characters in this series in this little small town. So in this one, a gentleman across the street from her shop, he ends up getting murdered. And she had an argument, a public argument with him the day before. So of course they think that she's the one who committed the murder. So I don't want to give anything else away. It was a great cozy mystery, great small town feel. I really, really loved it. Julianne Lindsey's writing is fantastic. She does great with characters. She does great with the plot. Like these books are just fantastic. I absolutely recommend that you check them out. She is self-publishing all of these, so kudos to her for this as well. And I think I heard that there's going to be 8 books in total in the series. So yay on this one. Definitely check it out. It was absolutely delightful. The next one that I finished was kind of I think, because I finished that audiobook by Jennifer Ryan, and I'm just like, I need something that's going to cheer me up. So I looked at what I had on my list to read. I'm like, I'm not really I don't know what I wanted to read. So I went ahead and I looked at my library's Libby app at the 7-Day Loan Collection and looked at the audiobooks, and this book was on there. And I'm like, ooh, I have heard about this one. I've heard good things about it. I kind of want to read it. So I read this in 2 days, you guys. Dial A for Aunties by Jessi Q. Sutanto, I believe is how you say her last name. I gave this book 4 stars, you guys. This was delightful. This is the first book in the Aunties series. It came out in April of 2021. This is labeled as a contemporary romance on Goodreads. And again, I'm going to put a hard pass on that one and say that this is definitely a mystery. This is definitely a mystery. Like, there's a lot going on in this one. But romance is further down the list, in my opinion. And this was narrated on audio by Reisz May. So, the plot of this story, if you haven't heard about it, it's a woman by the name of Maddie. It's Madeline. And she has 4 aunties. And she is Chinese. What is her ethnicity? I think it's Filipino, but I could be absolutely incorrect, and I apologize for that. South Asian? Asian Indian culture? I think. I apologize. So anyway, she has aunties. It's her, and then it's her mother and her 3 aunts. And there's like a curse on their family that the men always leave. So her dad walked out, her aunt's husbands walked out, even her male cousins, like her aunt's sons, all left the house, like, didn't leave like, oh, I'm never talking to the family again, but like, they live in California and they went out to New York to study, you know, in school and never came home, essentially. So it's always just the women. So her and her mom and the aunts run this wedding business. She's the photographer, and the aunts each do something different. Like her mom, I think, does the flowers, and then one aunt does the hair and makeup, and another one does, like, she sings, and then one of them bakes the cake. You know what I mean? Like that kind of an idea. So they have this self-contained wedding business. And her mother is, of course, always trying to set her up with this, like, with available men. So her mother, at the beginning of the book, poses as her and goes on, like, some dating website and sets up a profile and pretends to be her daughter and gets this guy. There's a hilarious exchange later in the book when they read the text messages that went on between the mother and this guy that just, I was at work and I had to stop listening to it because I was laughing too hard. But anyway, it's brilliant. This is so funny. So she goes out with this guy and they're out on a date and he gets a little handsy. Like, he's like, oh, well, you've had too many glasses of wine. I will drive your car home and I'll come back and pick up your car tomorrow. And she's like, well, very hesitant, which she should have been. I would have been insisting on calling a Lyft or an Uber. But regardless, we wouldn't have gotten the rest of the plot if this hadn't happened. She agrees, goes with him. He's driving. He starts to get a little handsy and takes her, like, on some really out-of-the-way backcountry road kind of an idea. So she's getting very, very nervous. And he's getting very, very handsy. So while they're driving, like, he's driving, she's in the passenger seat, she tasers him. And then the car hits a tree. And he's dead. So now it becomes almost a Weekend at Bernie's type scenario. For lack of a better understanding. So she essentially is like, what do I do? What do I do? Puts him in the trunk of her car, as one does. Drives the car home because it's still drivable. And shows her mom, is like, Mom, what do I do? So she calls the aunts. And the four older women and our main character, they're all trying to figure it out. Problem is that they've got a wedding the next day. Like, this big wedding on an island off the coast of California. Like, this small island. They have to take a yacht out to the island. What are they going to do with the body? And the body accidentally gets sent with the rest of the wedding stuff in a cooler to the island. So now the body is there on the island and they don't know what to do with him and yada, yada, yada. So it's just, there are parts of this book that are just so hilariously funny. It's not really a mystery either because you know who killed the guy. It's our main character. Sort of. I'm not really, I don't want to say too much because I don't want to give too much away. But there is a romance in there. So the guy who runs the resort on this island is the old college boyfriend of our main character. So there are a few bits at the beginning where they kind of go back in time showing how they were together in college. And then she sees him, of course, on the island and immediately falls madly in love with him again. And that's the romance. But it's extremely quick. And it's like takes place over 2 days and then they're prescribing, like, you know, saying how much they love each other after 2 days, after not seeing each other for 6 years. Oh, and by the way, she's been carting a dead body around the island the whole time. I can't help but laugh at that. So the romance, even though this is listed as a romance, I wouldn't say it's a romance because the romance plot is very secondary to the main story of what are they going to do about this dead guy? I know, I shouldn't laugh about somebody dying, but in the context of the story, it's hilarious. And I love the relationship between the aunts. I thought that they were delightful. I loved all the characters in this. But yeah, the reason it got a 4-star instead of a 5-star for me was because of this whole, like, the romance could have been completely taken out, and it still would have been a great book, in my opinion. But the second book, spoiler alert, is her wedding. So that's that. So anyway, the next book that I finished here was One Hot December by Tiffany Reisz. This is a reread for me. I gave it 4 stars. This is book 3 in the Men at Work series. Harlequin Blaze number 920. Publication date December 2016. This is a contemporary romance, and I did listen to it on audio, narrated by Lydia Dornett. So I'm reading this one for the podcast. As I said, it's a reread. I read it years and years ago. I read this whole series at several different points. So this is the story of Veronica and Ian, and they actually work together, and then she, at the beginning of the book, quits her job because she wants to do something else. She's a welder at his construction firm, and he really has the hots for her. They did have a one-night stand at one point, But she's very different. She's tattooed, she's got piercings, she's got short, spiky hair, and he's very, very much a rich tie, suit and tie kind of guy. So they do come from different worlds. But they of course have a lot of sexual chemistry. This book, it's a Blaze novel. I do not have to tell you guys that this is spicy, spicy, spicy. But Blaze novels, even within the Blaze books, from my personal opinion, it did, you got levels of spice within Blaze. Some of the authors, they were all still explicit, don't get me wrong, but some of them just kind of went certain places where others did not. Tiffany Reisz went there because it's Tiffany Reisz. And this is kind of what she's known for. This, not Blaze, but she is known for her erotic novels, right? I have not read the original Sinner series, but I hear a lot of people say it's really, really good. And it goes there. So anyway, very, very hot, very, very spicy. They pretty much embark on this physical relationship, but then decide to have an actual out and about relationship as well, where we're going to go to dinner, we're going to go do this, and we're going to actually be a couple. And then of course she meets his family, and the whole opposites attract thing. It was cute. It was fun. I liked it. I gave it 4 stars. I do really like this series. If you are okay with the spice being, that much higher, read the Men at Work series. Read the Men at Work series, because you will not be disappointed. And then the last book I'm going to talk about this morning, tomorrow's clip will not be nearly as long, was Jessi and the Bad Babysitter by Ann M. Martin. I gave this book 3.5 stars. Babysitter's Club book number 68, publication date October of 1993, and this is, of course, a middle grade book. Next one in my Babysitter's Club series that I'm reading. When I finished this book, I thought to myself, the title wasn't exactly correct, because the babysitter, so what happened in the last book, Dawn left. And Mallory's been really sick, which will come into effect in another couple books. But they need someone to replace Dawn because they've been super busy. So Jessi has this friend named Wendy at school, and Wendy comes to the meetings and stuff like that, and goes on a few babysitting jobs. And the thing is that she's not a bad babysitter. She's a great babysitter. She is wonderful with the children. She really enjoys what she does. The problem is that she can't live up to Christy's standards, because at the Babysitter's Club, you got to be present. And this is what kind of got me when I was reading this one. I'm like, there's no leniency. You have to be present at all the meetings. You have to, you can't take your own jobs. If the neighbor calls you and is like, hey, I need a babysitter immediately, you can't go over. You have to call everybody else, see if anybody else is available, even if you are. It's just, I get where Christy is coming from a business standpoint, but it just seemed a little, and Wendy wasn't cut out for that. She's like, no, I just like babysitting. I don't want all the rules, which can't blame the girl for that, really. So I think the title was a little misleading, because the babysitter wasn't bad. She was good. It's just that she didn't fit in with the rest of the Babysitter's Club, essentially. So anyway, that's all. That's all. That's what I finished so far this week. I am hoping to get one more book done. Yes, I am reading this one. What is it called? Undercover Canine Cowboy by Addison Fox. This does not come out till late January. So this is an e-arc I'm reading right now. But I should get it done today, I'm hoping. And I will let you guys know when I check in tomorrow. Bye, guys.
This zip code, Dr. Hawks said the residue on Kevin Moretti's lungs was reminiscent of the debris from the lungs of Ground Zero cleanup workers.
Hi guys, it is Saturday night. It is about 10 o'clock at night, and as you can tell, I'm sitting up in bed. I am getting a little bit of reading done before I go to sleep, and I just thought I'd actually end off the vlog here. I was hoping to finish a book today, but I did not, so no point in me doing a wrap-up tomorrow. This is like the world's crappiest vlog this week. It's been horrible, so I do apologize for that. I hope next week's is going to be much better. I'll see if I can vlog even just a little bit every day. We shall see how that goes, but like I said, just an update on what I'm currently reading. I'm going to try and read a chapter at least of each of these before I go to bed. So on my new Kindle Paperwhite, I am reading Undercover Canine Cowboy by Addison Fox. I mentioned this one in my earlier clip, I think. It comes out in January. It is a romantic suspense novel from Harlequin. He is a federal agent, and her family runs the ranch, and it is on the border. It's near the Rio Grande. Is that in Texas? I think it's in Texas, right? And their ranch is like right there. So there's a lot of drug smuggling coming over the border. So he wants to kind of set up a sting operation to stop the criminals. Of course, there's a romance. So yeah, I'm about 40% of the way through this at this point, and I'm actually really enjoying it. I did start another book today. Sorry guys, I'm just gonna switch hands here. I did start another book today. I started a physical book. I'm actually not listening to an audiobook right now. Isn't that weird? Sorry, there's my thumb. Okay, so I'm not listening to an audiobook right now, but I've got two, like a digital book and a physical book on the go, so that's fun. So I'm reading The Dim Sum of, you can't tell the title because of the library sticker, Dim Sum of All Fears by Vivian Chen. This is the second book in the Noodle Shop Cozy Mystery series. I went to the library, I got some books out, I got this one. They happen to have it, so I was like, okay. I'm literally not even 20 pages into it yet, so no update on this one, but stay tuned to next week's vlog. And yeah, so I might go back to doing the vlogs how I used to, where I try and update every day and share with you what I'm reading. I'm just not in an audiobook mood, and that's how I fly through books really, like, relatively quickly, like, let's be honest. But you know, I've got some physical books out, I've got a lot of e-arcs and stuff like that that I want to read, so yeah, anyway, I'm rambling. I'm gonna let you guys go. Sorry again for the not so great vlog. That's my sweater sitting there. For my this not so great vlog, but I'm gonna do a little bit of reading and go to bed. So good night everybody, and I will talk to you all in my next one. Take care and happy reading, everybody. Bye. So this is what I usually have on the TV in the background while I'm laying in bed reading. I love these ASMR videos. Is that what you call them? Like sleep relaxation type videos in the background. This one is by a YouTuber by the name of Cozy Rain, and I love their videos. They are fantastic. This is billed to be a New York City apartment in the rain. So like you can see, like, you've got the New York skyline, I guess, in the back, and you can see the rain coming down. I love it. I absolutely love it. So I'll just be quiet just for a second so you guys can hear what I'm hearing. So you can hear the very faint rain sounds. I just love it. Like, with those bookshelves, guys, as readers, would we not love that apartment? So yeah, so I love having these on in the background. And usually what I do is I set my TV timer so it shuts off, like, about I give it a couple hours in case I want to do some reading. So yeah, so that's usually what I have on the background. But I also have another little visitor here. It's the bean! Sorry, a little close-up. Hi, baby. He always crawls. Yes, I have an electric blanket on because it's cold in here, but he loves the blankie, don't you, baby? You have crazy eyes right now. Anyway, guys, we're going to go to bed, and we will talk to you later. Bye, everybody.